Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be hearing from Mark, who's brought some things to share with us. I just wanted to do a short introduction to explain why I'm here speaking to you. So Mark has got some new technology which allows him to spell out the letters on his iPad, and then it speaks the words. God has been giving Mark wonderful opportunities to use it this year, when he gave a presentation to the management team of the company who run Mark's and other care homes across the country about how they can be more effective. He also addressed a select committee of MPs discussing provision and support in the care sector. Unfortunately, the two people who normally help Mark with getting his talks into the computer presentation format have been away for the last couple of weeks, and sadly, my skills weren't up to it. So I'll be reading what Mark wants to say to us this morning. Okay, so what I'm going to say from now is actually Mark's. So how has God been speaking to me? First, he reminds me of his presence and love and encouragement. God has often given me a touch when I least expect it. When I'm feeling not happy with myself, for example, if I'm feeling angry or frustrated about something, I complain with no reason, just because I'm feeling frustrated. Often God touches me in these situations. I have a warm feeling which takes me into fits of laughter. This very much changes my mood and takes away the frustration and anger. I've been studying courses and doing exams, mainly in history of art. I also sensed his touch when I passed my latest exam and got my results. I had a feeling of great joy because of the high marks. I felt God saying he's been helping me and that he's given me a gift for doing this. A problem is that I am hungry for praise and get disappointed when I don't get it. What is God saying to me about that? Be more humble. But how is the million-pound question. I just need to keep on working at it. I'm trying to be happy with what I have achieved, seeing it as something that's worthwhile for its own sake, regardless of whether other people praise me, is important. But it's hard. What else? One of the most important gifts was one Sunday this May. Here in Trinity, during the service, I had a vision. I looked up and the ceiling was completely red with the light of Christ. It was like a red veil across the ceiling. What do I think God was saying to me through this? A strong blessing to me. I was very overwhelmed and so happy about everything. I was amazed that that could ever happen to me. It was so wonderful, I wish I could have experiences like this more often. But we don't want to live for experiences, we want to follow Jesus. A wonderful experience is like a nice treat, like a lovely ice cream. It would be lovely to have it every day. It's great to have ice cream sometimes after our lunch, but not instead of our lunch. We don't want to make experience our main food. And also, through Alpha, God's been speaking to me. In the autumn, Martin and I did an Alpha course. I wanted to learn more about God and Christ and how to serve him. And also, I like doing courses and learning. I do love God, and I go for a daily walk to talk to him. It's a lovely way to be with God. Every day, I also talk to God about things and ask him questions as I go through the day. So this Alpha course was a chance to learn and also to question and discuss things in more depth. When we started this Alpha, I was a bit nervous. I was worried about whether I would say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Actually, it was fine and very different. I had done Alpha before when I was at the Methodist church. That first time, it was in a small group, and it's hard for me to join in the group conversations, and so sometimes I tuned out. This time, it was easier for me to stay engaged because it was one-to-one, and we could take the time for me to ask my questions. I was more open, and we discussed things in more detail. In Alpha, there are videos with people's testimonies, and I learnt a lot from these about people's situations. One of the important things for me was that I learnt about people worse off than me. There was a man with very heavy mental health problems. He had a very cruel father who didn't care for him. So while he was still in his early teens, his father kicked him out. Later, he committed a murder, very unintentionally because he was on drugs. One day, a friend brought him to God, and he became a changed man. A few months later, he was freed from prison. And he never gave up, even though he had mental health issues. Why is this important for me? It makes me feel really humble and lucky and grateful about everything I have. What's the effect on me of God speaking to me like this? I can appreciate things very much more. I can still be moody when I don't get my own way, but I am working on it, and I go back to thinking about how much I've been blessed with. What else would I like to encourage you with? Grab every opportunity. Go with what God gives you, and go with the wind. Relax. God, our lovely Father in heaven, will sort everything out. Also, keep praying. Don't be afraid to test the water. Try things out. Try new things. Explore God in every way. It's important to want to have a relationship with God. And if you want to talk to people about God, talk to people who are open. Finally, thank you for listening to me, and I pray all your wishes in God will come through for everyone.